Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Above All Creations, where we're catering to the sweet tooth in you. And it is a Friday afternoon. I am banging out the weekend cakes as per usual. And today we are working on, it's a two-tone, or should I say a two-character cake. It is a circus slash the good dinosaur. So we're combining both themes together. We got 24 cupcakes. I've already made the cupcakes because they were just quick and easy. A little bit of icing, and then I just kind of stuck some little decals or some little dinosaurs in, because it's 24. So I put some dinosaurs on one of the dozens, and then on the other dozen I just stuck like some little pics in it, like movie things. Quick and easy. I will show you guys at the end of the video what the cupcakes look like, but I'm not going to include it in the video because it was so easy. Okay, all right, so now we're doing a two-tier cake. I have a confetti cake, so it's pretty much our birthday cake. It's vanilla cake that I make and I add sprinkles, and we call that confetti. All right, I got a double layer 8-inch and I got a double layer 6-inch. They both have been crumb coated already. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, like I said, the good dinosaur and the movie theme. So at the bottom, what I'm thinking, and I'm freestyling this one. Freestyle just pretty much means it's my design. So I'm kind of freestyling this, just coming along with it as I go. And you guys are going to watch me do that. I have a little bit of an idea, but I'm just winging it. Okay, but what I do want to do is we're going to go ahead and do the bottom tier in white, because I'm thinking I want to do like the red stripes. You know how like a popcorn bag looks, is all white and then had a red stripes going around. I think I want to do that to the bottom, because with the cupcakes I put the little cupcake liners, and they're like popcorn cupcake liners with red and white at the bottom. So to just pull everything together and make it cohesive and look the same, I'm gonna go ahead and do the bottom like that. So I got just my white bag, and the tip that I have on it is a tip 828. It's 828, and it doesn't matter what this tip is, if it was a bag with no tip or as long as it was a big tip. But this is really one of those cupcake tips that when you're doing the rosettes, okay? But when you're doing your final coat on these, it doesn't even matter. You could do a bag with no tip, okay? But since it's on there, I want you guys to know what it is. So we're just gonna go around with the bag, and you know how I say sometimes I use a bag, sometimes I don't. But since the bag is right here and ready for us, let's go ahead and use it. So we're getting our icing. This is our final coat. See, we're running out of icing there. I think that's one reason why I don't always use the bag, when I could just take it and just plop. Okay, so now this is the buttercream that I have here that I made from scratch, guys. And I typically try to do about 3 or 4 batches before I get started on my weekend cakes. That way I won't have to make any more icing and stop. This is cake number I think that this is cake number 4 or 5. This is my final weekend cake, okay? So when we get done with this, guys, we can relax and enjoy ourselves. Okay, so now we're just going around. We're just gonna get this smoothed out, because this is our final coat. And I can tell right now already that I'm gonna need more icing. When I'm doing a final coat, I like to put quite a bit of icing on, because I can always take the icing off. Okay, so when I pull out my scraper, so I like to put a little bit more on it, because I don't want to take any chances of pulling any of those crumbs out of the cake and it get into my final icing, especially because this icing doesn't have any color, it's all white. So we're going to keep going around. Get it all on. What you guys doing later? You guys got any plans? It's the weekend. Are y'all hanging out? And if you guys are from my city, you guys are here, I want everybody to say hello, okay? Say hello down in the comments. I just started my YouTube journey. Let me know how I'm doing. If there's anything else that you see that I should be doing, or if you could help me out, give me some tips and tricks. I'd appreciate that. Okay, so now we're taking our scraper. And like I said, I get these scrapers from decopack.com. And like I said, I just started the channel, so this is not a pay. I'm not paid to say that or anything. I've been doing cakes for almost 14 years now, and I've been just going to them for years. When I first opened up my storefront, I'm actually, I'm doing the cakes from home now. But I used to own a storefront, and I was there for almost 8 years. And so I've kind of slowed things down a little bit, spending a lot more time with my family. There's a lot of things going on in the world. I don't got to tell you about that. And so now I'm at home doing the cakes. But prior to that, I started at home doing them. And then I did cakes at home for about maybe a couple years. And then, I was growing out of my home. I had quite a few clientele coming to me. I was just piling stuff up in the home. I needed a whole room for all of my stuff to hold everything to do the cake. So I was pretty much growing out of my home. And so I went ahead and I stepped out on faith, talked to God about it in prayer, and I opened up my storefront. I was there for a little bit over 7.5 years. And now I'm back at home. Okay. Life has slowed down a little bit for me. So I have experienced quite a bit of success in the cake world. All of my clients that I had prior, I still have them now. They don't care where they pick up the cake, y'all, as long as they get it. Okay, so that's just a little bit about me. So let's go ahead, finish getting these sides done. I'm gonna move it up a little bit. Guys, I see pretty good. And then I'm gonna slow it down some so I could go on and get it done. And by the way, guys, this buttercream icing, like I said, that I've been using this same recipe for almost 14 years. Back before I ever got the storefront, when I started at home. And I sell this recipe as well. And I do it in all of the colors. And if you're interested, email me. aboveallcreations. I'm a Gmail. Okay, you guys can find me on Instagram under Above All Creations as well, and I'll be happy to send it out to you. We sell it in a half-gallon bucket, and we also do gallon buckets. So yeah, I got some things coming, you guys. I have my own sprinkle line that I'm working on as well. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification button, and that way you'll be in a loop when every time I load a video, and you'll hear all the new things that I got coming, okay? Like I said, with me not having a storefront anymore, and I'm able to get a lot of those ideas and things that I wanted to do done. Once you slow down a little bit and you're not as busy, all those things that you have been wanting to do, now you can work on them. And I get to share them with you guys. Okay, so now you check the sides. Okay, I see something right down here that I want to fix. Okay, let's go back around. Now, if there is any in particular cakes or cupcakes or treats, because I do treats as well, guys. If there's anything in particular that you would like to see me make, put it down in the comment section. I'll reply to everyone's comment, and I'll definitely get back with you. And I'll put it on a list. I'm excited about this channel, about my channel, and actually growing it. I'm committed to doing this, you guys, and I'm excited about it. So, yep, if there's anything you guys would like to see me do, yep, just put it down in the comment section. And I would definitely put it on my list to get it done for you guys. I do classes as well, so I love to teach. Okay, now let me take a good look. Okay, I see a little hole in my icing right there. Other than that, I'm happy with it. We're going to be putting the red stripes, like I said earlier, around the sides. All right, guys, I am happy with that. Now we're going to go ahead and put this one over to the side. Then we're going to grab our top tier. Now, our top tier, because this is the Good Dinosaur. With that one, I'm kind of doing the movie theme with that one. So with this one here, it's going to be a Good Dinosaur. And that's kind of green. So we're going to go ahead and make this a green color. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wet cloth here. Now, because I crumb coated this one, I want to wipe my board off just in case, to make sure there's no confetti cake or anything. There's no little pieces of buttercream on here with confetti cake in it, because I don't want anything to get into my final top coat, okay? All right, so we got that. Now, we're using this green color earlier that we used on our cupcakes. So I can already tell I'm gonna need a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna take our spatula, add a little bit more. It's a 6 inch, it's not that big, but I know I'm probably want to pipe a border around too. So I need enough to cover the cake and to get our border piped. Okay, now this is the color that I'm using. It's a leaf green. It's also by Chef Master. I'm gonna add a little bit of that. And like I said, with this design, it's freestyle. So I'm kind of just winging it. Whatever come to mind that I feel like I wanna do, I'm just gonna do. Okay, she just told me, hey, I'm doing a Good Dinosaur and a movie theme. She thought it was really weird putting them together, and I'm like, no, if that's what you want to do. So with her invite and her invitations and everything, it, you know, has the movie theater and all of that on it. So we're combining the two. Okay, so I got that mixed up. Wipe my hands a little bit here. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and get the final coat on here. And our green. Going to take our spatula. I also get this spatula from decopack.com as well. And we're going to go ahead. You know, I don't always use the bag. I'll just plop it on, and then I slide it right over to the side. I let it fall down a little bit, and then I just come grab it and take it all the way around. And then if I need some, if I want to, I just come up to the top, wipe a little bit, put it on my spatula, and then go around. Either or. Just get it on there. Okay, so let's get this smoothed out. Okay, now we have another scraper over here, same style, same one. And we're just gonna go around Get this one smoothed out. Scrape this leftover icing here off the board. Then I got a couple holes that I can see. I'm kind of tall, so, or should I say, I'm not that tall. My daughter says I'm not. But I just want the, you know, I have to bend down a little bit. I guess my table is kind of short, really. Okay, let's finish getting this. Done here on the sides. And then once I kind of got it, for the most part, then what I do is I slow it down. That way it'll be completely smooth. If there's any holes or anything like that. And all you're doing is just holding the board with one hand, spinning it, and this one is just leaned up against the cake. So really the spinner or this hand is doing all the work. So I'm just slowing it down. Now I'm going to take a look. Okay, this side needs a little bit more love. And nothing is perfect, guys. Nothing is perfect. Just do your best. You know? Practice, practice, practice. That's all. Okay, now I want to go up top. Now, if you're looking for those edges that are just super crispy, right now at this stage, see how I just went around? And then all of that cake that I pulled up around the sides at the top, now you take this cake just like it is and go put it in the fridge for about, this is a crust and buttercream, so it'll probably only take about, to make them super sharp, about 15-20 minutes. You put it in there, let the buttercream crust up. Or even better one, you could take it and put it in the freezer, same amount of time. Then you want to come back, and all this icing that I got pulled up at the top, just take your spatula and just go around like this, taking it off, and that'll give you those super crispy, sharp edges, okay? Now, when I'm done with this, the edges are still gonna be on point, okay? But for those super crispy, sharp edges, and then you don't have to know how to like pull it in, if I pull too much icing off, or is that enough, or should I do it that way? It'll flow a lot easier. But with me doing this with you guys, I just want to get it set up, get it put in, because I know I can make some nice edges anyway. But just, that's a little tip as well. But you could just do like what I'm doing. Drag it in, bring it in, and wipe, okay? Wipe your spatula off each time you bring it in, okay? That makes really crispy edges too. If you just want to keep going and, you know, you ain't got time to, you know what I'm saying, to wait. Bring it in. Or if you know you're doing a design to where you're going to be putting a lot up top, or, you know, you're about to put a drip on, or different things like that, you can make a different approach and it'll still look like just what you want it to in the end, okay? Okay. And I'm just going with a light hand on this. Light hand. All right. There we go. Now we got our top and our bottom tier set up. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and put these in the fridge. Let them get cold. That way when I touch them, or while I'm putting on the decorations, because like I said, I got to put stripes on the bottom, and then I got some edible pictures and things that I'm going to be adding to the cake. So just so it'll be easier and it'll be cold. That way if I make a mistake and nick something, nothing will come off on my hand. So I'm going to go ahead, put both of these cakes in the fridge, and then I'll be right back and we'll go ahead and finish it up. All right, guys, we're back. The cakes have cooled. We got them out. Now we're going to finish our finishing touches. I have already turned the cake around to see which side is my front. So I put my little speck of buttercream there. I know that is the front. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dowel our cake. And just like we always do, we're going to take our skewers. If you've been here before, you know I use skewers, the bamboo skewers. You can find them in the barbecue section, at the dollar store. You can find them at the Dollar Tree, Dollar General, anywhere where there's shish kebabs or anything like that. So typically what I do is I put about 8 skewers on the bottom. And you want to make sure you keep them kind of inside, because this top is a 6-inch, so don't go out too far because you want the cake to actually be sitting on them. So that little sound that you hear, let me show you. Hear that? That means it went through the cake and it's all the way into the board, and this cake isn't going anywhere. So we got 3, 4, 5, we got 6, and I just kind of put them around. 7. And this is what's going to hold our cake so that our top cake don't fall into this cake and crush it. Okay. Okay, so we got 8. Now we're going to go ahead and take, you know, these are my wire cutters. I got them from Lowe's or Home Depot. It's been some years now since I had them. Back then, I think there was maybe around 13 bucks, and I only use them for my cakes. Now, when you're cutting your bamboo skewers, you want to hold it and cut. Do not just cut, because these things will fly across the room, and if there's anybody in the room, you could put somebody's eye out, okay? All right, and I just wipe after each one because we are cutting bamboo. So it's kind of like a little stick, and just in case some of the little particles stuck to it, I don't want my clients eating wood, or, you know what I mean. So we're going to get all of these cut. Make sure you hold it each time. Don't let them just fly across the room, or that's going to be more cleanup for you. Okay, so we got them all cut. Now, you know there is holes and everything in there, but a lot of times I'll take the icing, I'll put it on there and smooth it, but we don't have to do it with this because I know it's in the center and you won't be able to see it, so we're just going to keep going. So we got our top tier. We're going to take our scissors and go ahead and we're going to cut all the way up to the board and cut our top tier off. That way we can go ahead and place it on top and get the cake stacked. This is a 10-inch board that I iced it on. So, you know, after you ice a 6-inch cake, you know, you end up turning it into what, about 7 inches, 7.5 inches. So the rest of the 10-inch board, I got to take it off. Put that right in our garbage bowl. Okay, now we know this is the front because of the speck of buttercream. So I'm going to find my front on this cake. Okay, so this is the front of the cake, and I'm going to go ahead, and you know me, I just drop it. Now, if you were way up here, I would say don't drop it, but it's a cold cake, and I don't want to get my fingers stuck in there, so I just drop it down. Now, because this side has more left open than this side, I'm just going to take the skewer, touch right that board that we cut, and I'm just going to move the cake over a little bit. Okay, now they're even on both sides. Now, I'm going to take the same skewer, and we're going to skewer the top. And typically, I put about 4 skewers up here because my clients will be traveling with the cake. A lot of times people don't know how to travel with the cake, so I want to make it secure to make sure they get where they're going. Okay? All right, so now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our wire cutter, cut it, put it in our garbage bowl. I'm going to wipe it each time just in case there's any particles or anything on it. I don't want to be bringing it back to the cake and sticking it down in there. So we got one more. All right. So now we got that all done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our spatula. See a little bit of particle up here. I'm going to take that off. Okay, so we're gonna take our spatula, and all I'm gonna do is grab a little bit of the green icing that we have sitting here, and I'm just gonna rub it right over those holes that we made. And then I'm just gonna smooth it over. It'll be like it never happened. Okay, now we got the cake smoothed. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and take my wet cloth, and I'm gonna go around. Now the buttercream I can actually remove, because if you see the back of the cake, which is facing you guys, is not that much room in the back. But on my front of the cake, it's a lot of room. So I know that this is the front of the cake. So we're gonna move that buttercream, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go all the way around my cake, all the way around the cake board, because I don't want any leftover buttercream or anything on the board. I want it to be professional and look professional. So I don't want any buttercream or anything on the board from when I put the final coat on. So always make sure you clean that before you put your borders and everything on, because you can see that that's still there, okay? So now that we got that done, what I want to do with this cake is the bottom, the way I did the cupcakes, I put it in, you know, those little liners you can wrap around your cupcakes after they're done. It's like a sleeve. It looks like popcorn, white with the red stripes. So I want the bottom to look like that. So I'm just going to put red stripes going all the way around, okay? So it's going to look like, kind of mimic popcorn, if you will, because she sent me a picture of his invite, and his invite has popcorn on it. So I want to make sure I include popcorn in the cake. So we're going to take a little bit of powdered sugar, put it right on our board. And you know, powdered sugar, I shop at Sam's Club because I shop in bulk, so I got this from there. Now, we're going to take our red fondant that I have here, and I'm using a Satin Ice brand, but you could use Wilton brand or any kind you prefer. I'm just going to knead it just a little bit, put it down on our surface, take our fondant rolling pin, and we're going to go ahead and roll it out. I'll put a little bit more powdered sugar down. Now we're going to roll this out and go ahead and put our red stripes around the bottom of our cake. All right, now we got that done. I'm just cutting the bottom off and cutting the top off. That way we have some pretty decent stripes, okay? Move it down a little bit so you can see. All right, and then we just gonna take our, I'm using a fondant cutter. You can call it a pizza cutter. Really, if you call it a fondant cutter, you'll probably pay much more money for it. I've seen these things for about 30 bucks, 25 bucks, but I got it from the Dollar Tree. It's just a piece of color back when it was $1, so it's probably $1.25 now. So if you see somewhere and they're selling it as a fondant cutter, you're going to pay more, okay? And I got a few of them, probably 3 or 4 of them, okay? All right, so let's keep going. I'm just cutting my my stripes out, my red stripes, so I can put it around the bottom. I'm not sure how many I need. If I don't use them all, I'll just ball it back up and put it in the bag. Now we're going to pull the cake back over, take the stripes, and go ahead and adhere them to the cake. And I don't want it to go all the way up. I want it to stop right at the top. So I'm just going to cut right there. See that? I want it to stop right at the top of the cake. So I'm just going to keep going around. I'm just going to space them just a few inches apart. And we're just going to keep going around the cake until we get them all the way around. There's the second one, quick and easy. Just keep going. And when you cut, like I just freestyled that cut, there are different cutters that you can use that'll actually, it's a roller and it'll cut them all for you at the same time to ensure they're the same size and everything. And if I'm honest with you, I don't really care about that because, you know, I've been cutting for a while, so I'm a cake decorator. Just keeping it 100 with you. And when I'm done, this cake is going to look good, and they're going to look like they're about the same, and if they're not, I'll make it look like it's not. So this is, remember, when I put the last one on, this was enough of the strip that was left, so it's actually long enough for me to just go ahead and use it and do the next one. And then just so you know, fondant, it will stretch, especially fresh fondant like we're doing right now, it will stretch a little bit for you too. So if you ever need a little bit more fondant and you think you're running out, just stretch it, because fondant will stretch for you. So, and also if you're running low on fondant and you just need a little bit more to just finish your decoration, just go ahead and roll your fondant a little bit thinner. Typically with fondant, when you're rolling it, fondant likes to be rolled a little bit thicker, and gum paste likes to be rolled thin, okay? So that's kind of a rule of thumb. But also, just over the years, I've just, you know, discovered, say you run out of a color and you just need just a little bit. Just roll that fondant a little bit thinner, and it'll work out for you, okay? Just a little tip. So that's what we got so far. We got a little bit more to go. Right here, I think one will be good. Hit right in that spot. And you know that popcorn thing, when you see the popcorn, the stripes aren't real close together. They're apart like that. So that's how I wanted that. So we could just put our black fondant together. I'm sorry, our red fondant. I'm getting ready to use black, so it's on my mind. So I'm just putting it back in our glad bag and just sealing it over. When I clean up, I'll seal it completely, but always cover up your fondant because you don't want it to dry out. So now this is the front of our cake. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take a little bit of our black fondant, and I just got it right here in my glad bag, and this is also satin ice. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. This isn't satin ice. This is the Wilton brand. I just got this the other day because I just made a PlayStation. I'm gonna be loading that for you guys too. By the time you see this, I'll probably be already loaded the PlayStation. So I ran to my local Meijer and just grabbed some black fondant. So this is a Wilton brand. But like I said, any brand that you love, that you're comfortable with. So we're just gonna roll it out. And I wanna put like a little plaque on the front of the cake. Because it's like, remember earlier I was telling you, Mom put two themes together. She put the dinosaur, which is the Good Dinosaur, and she put like a movie theme. So it's like a movie popcorn theme and a Good Dinosaur, hence the green up top. And this is like a movie theme with the popcorn type deal. And her invite had popcorn on it, and it was red and white like this. So I'm just kind of mimicking that. Okay, so we got the black fondant rolled out, and now I want to take, let me test it and see just how big this is, because I know it was big. Okay, so this is the cutter that I'm using. I got a whole set like this, but spare the moment, I couldn't really find the other two, so we're going to use this, and if I need to, we'll cut it down. So we're going to go ahead and put it on. So we got that. Now, because this is the front of my cake, let's go ahead and put it on. Oh yeah, we can just kind of put that one on. It'll fit. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take just a little bit of my buttercream, and I got a red bag here because we're gonna be doing a bottom border of red, and I'm just gonna rub a little bit of red on it. Right on the back, and then I'm just gonna take it and just adhere it to the cake. Just pushing it on, guys. Okay, you see that? Now our plaque is on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take my black fondant, put it right back in my glad bag, turn it over. Now, what I wanna do is since we are already down here, there's a little bit of the black sticking out from our fondant plaque. I'm just going to cut that off, push it in. Then I'm going to go ahead and just pipe our border right on the bottom, the red border that we're going to be using. And the tip I'm using is a number 10 tip, okay? And when you're piping your border, always start at the back. That way, if this bag has air in it and it splatters, it won't mess up your pretty cake. After you've done all that work, got it iced up all flawless, and then it spatters. And now you got to cover it up with something. Although we're cake decorators, so when you're a cake decorator, you got to know how to fix something. Yep, but if we can prevent it, that's the best thing. And all I'm doing is piping a bead border all the way around the bottom. Okay, so that's our red border on. Okay, so that's where we're gonna write happy birthday right there on there. So now the top, I have the good dinosaur. Okay, can you see him good? So I'm gonna take him, and he's on the back of a fondant piece. I just took an edible image, cut it out. Okay, I'll show you. So, you know when you get your edible images, it's on one of these papers. I just cut out the edible image and then took this paper, laid it on top of the fondant, cut him out, put a skewer up in him, hence the skewer, and then all I did was buttercream him to the fondant. Okay, now what I'm going to do, because I know if I put this in there, it is too much. So I'm going to take our cutter and I'm going to cut some off. Then I'm going to go ahead and stick the good dinosaur right down in my cake, because he is our top tier decoration. So we got him right in our cake. That's our dinosaur. Now, I got an edible picture as well of the little boy. This is my first time actually doing this character. When she called me and said the good dinosaur, you know, they bring out cartoons so often. I had never even heard of this cartoon. Okay. And this is freestyle. I'm just kind of freestyling it. Mom said she was doing a movie theme, and that she was like, I trust you. Just do it. Just put them both together. She was like, I know it's a little strange, but she was like, I believe you can make it work. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to take this picture, peel it off the backing, and then I'm going to go ahead and center it right in the center of the cake. At the top tier is what I'm doing. And then I'm just rubbing it down. Always rub it down in place, because you don't want it to get any bubbles or anything behind it. Because if that happens, then your image will start coming off, or just it'll look bubbly. And you don't want that. That don't look that good, trust me. Okay, so now we got him on. So what I would like to do is, I have a brown bag here, and it's mixed with a little bit of gold. And I'm going to put a border right around him. And for that border, I'm using a tip number 5. So I should be able to do it facing you guys a little bit. I need to turn around a little bit because I don't want to make any mistakes. And I'm just going to do big and small. I'm just doing little dots, kind of like pebbles. In my mind, these are pebbles that I'm putting on a cake. So from what I understand, it's the dinosaur and a little boy. I guess the other characters are dinosaurs as well. Just getting a border put all the way around. And the cake is rustic because, you know, this is a dinosaur, so Okay, so I got the little picture around for him. Now, what I want to do is I have my green bag, and with my green bag, I have a grass tip on it. And the grass tip number is 133, okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I have my green icing here, my pan with my green icing, and you know I take my cake pans and I use them as bowls. So I have my green icing, and I just got it here so I could just squeeze out anything to make sure it's air out. So now I'm finna go around the whole bottom border with the grass. Because, you know, it's a dinosaur, they outside. I want it to be realistic. So, you know, if it's dinosaurs, then they got grass everywhere. So I'm just making my border out of grass. And I'm just freestyling it. So let's get all the grass around this border. All right, so our whole bottom border is grass. Now, what I want to do is, first off, I'm going to take one of my skewers, because I see the dinosaur, the little edible is lifting up a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of buttercream from here, and I'm going to sit it right where it's lifting. That just tells me that it needed a little bit more buttercream there. So if you ever see any lifting, before you get it out of here to your client, just put a little bit more buttercream there for any lifting. I can even use some green buttercream as well. Just put a little bit right there. You know, a dinosaur is green, so. All right, so now I'm gonna take this same bag and I'm gonna put grass all around the dinosaur and all behind them. Put a few things, put grass all at the top, so it'll make sense. You know, it's a dinosaur, so, you know, he probably standing in some grass. You know what I mean? So we're gonna put we're gonna put grass all around him, kind of at the top. That's our decoration. So, okay. Okay, so we got our grass up top for our dinosaur. Now, I'm just gonna look at the cake and see what it needs to me. Now, for the dinosaur, with the good dinosaur, I feel like it looks good, but it needs something else. So what I'm gonna do is, I got some popcorn here that I pop, you know, just follow the instructions on the bag. And I'm gonna take the popcorn and put it, just sit it. Let me put on one of my gloves. And I want to take the popcorn and just kind of put it around, okay? Just kind of around the bottom, because this is what his invite looked like. So I'm just kind of mimicking the invite right now with the popcorn. And like I said, it's a movie theme, so we want to make sure that we bring that movie theme all the way home. So I'm just going to put a little bit around. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just getting it on, okay? Put a few around the back. You know, movie cake. Put a few around here. And this is one of the reasons why I pushed the cake back a little bit, because I wanted to have some room to get, you know, some popcorn on the cake as well. Okay. So, all right, so we got our popcorn on. And we put a little bit more because I got a lot of popcorn here. I guess what I don't use, that'll be for the cook. I love popcorn, y'all. Okay, so we got our popcorn around. I think that's enough. Let me put one more right here. Okay, so we got the popcorn. Now, what I have is, I got like some little things that I purchased. I actually got this from Amazon. I'll go ahead and take the glove off. I just wanted to get the popcorn on. So, from Amazon. Now, I made 2 dozen cupcakes to go with this as well, and I'll show you the cupcakes in the picture. But these little things that came in. One is popcorn. It's got a movie night. And that's what the invite said, movie night. It's got the little, the movie thing. I don't know what that's called. It's got like the little reel. It says milk chocolate sign. And it's got the admit one sign, okay? So what I want to do is just kind of put these around the bottom. I'm going to cut it off because I don't need them to be long. So, and then actually I'm going to take it off. So with that admit one sign, I'm going to put a little bit of our buttercream on the back. And I'm going to stick the admit one sign right here over to the side. See that there? So we got that. I got another admit one sign. I'm going to put another little buttercream on the back of that one. Little red. And I'm going to stick that one there. Now we just kind of bringing out the movie at the bottom. We got a popcorn. So I'm going to leave that one on the stick. And I'm going to stick the popcorn in right down at the front. That way they can see the little popcorn and be like, oh, okay, that's why they did that, you know. And then I'm going to take another little popcorn and sit it right in front of that. So that's our little popcorn. Do we have any more popcorn? Okay, we got another popcorn, so why not add it? I done popped it off the stick, and that's okay. I'm going to take it and just put it right here on the side. See that? So there's another popcorn. So now what I want to do is the movie night one, the reel. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stick those like up in the top. I want to put this one, I'm going to take this one off its backing. And I'm going to stick it right in the front where it says movie night, because that's how the invite looked. So I'm mimicking the invite. I'm taking the little one that looked like, you know, what's that, like the one that, I don't know, the little movie thing. And we're going to take that and I'm going to stick it right up in the cake. Then we got the milk chocolate and I put it on the cupcakes, and you do find chocolate at the movies. So to be honest, I usually don't use a lot of things like this to decorate my cakes, but you know, just to kind of bring her cake together, and I'm kind of mimicking the invite that she gave me. So I'm using them. And then it's cool. It's a cute decoration, you know. So we got that. Now I want to get this other movie night one on because they all going to the show. You know how these days you can rent out the whole theater, and that's what Mom did. She rented out the whole theater for the children. So that's going to be a fun party. So I'm going to take a little bit of our red buttercream, put it right on the back. I want to put a little bit more because I want this one to stick out, kind of 3D. And then I'm going to stick it right on. See that there? All right. Now, okay, so it looks pretty good. Now, I mean, I did have a couple more things left. So what I would like to do now is I'm going to go ahead. Let's make sure all our popcorn is on because I've just seen a piece fall off. And we don't want no popcorn falling off. Let me give them a little bit more popcorn. Because if they anything like me, that's one of the reasons why they go to the show, for the popcorn. Okay, so we got that. Now, I feel like the good dinosaur needs something else up top. I feel like I need to put something else up top. So what I'm going to do is, let's see. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put like some little brown, like little, I'll show you. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and finish up. I got what I needed. And you know, I like to use a little bit of oil to do my shining. So we're going to put just a little bit of oil here in our oil cap. I got a brush. I'm just going to dip it in a brush. I'm going to go here and I'm going to clean off our plaque. That black pack has got a little bit of a little bit of powdered sugar on it. And you always, always, always want to make sure you don't pass out anything with powdered sugar on it or anything like that. Always make sure you get all the imperfections off, okay? Do not pass your cakes out with the powdered sugar on. And then because this is a buttercream cake, I don't want to pull out the steamer for that because the steamer kind of heats up the cake a little bit. And you know we don't want to heat up buttercream. We're done. We're going to get this cake to our client. I'm just going all the way around, and now I'm hitting all of those red stripes that we made that's got the powdered sugar on it, because we want to get all the powdered sugar off of those. And then mom wants the cake to say Denton, that's the baby's name, it's a Denton turns 5, and then she wanted to say dynamite. You know, dino, because it's like the good dino. So she wanted it spelled like the dinosaur. So it's going to say Denton turns 5, dynamite. So that's cute. That's what I'm going to write on the plaque. Then we're going to get this cake. After we get that written, then we are pretty much all done. Something quick and easy, guys. You can definitely combine two different characters together. She said, I know that's weird. I'm like, no, I've combined 2 characters together all the time. That's just fine with me. She was like, well, I don't really know what, but I'm going to leave that up to you. So I'm like, no problem. I got you. Okay, so I got everything shine. Oh, let me shine him, the good dinosaur. Let's get him all shined up. Make sure you don't got no powdered sugar left nowhere. Yep. You do not want your cake to look unprofessional or like you missed something, or try not to have no room for error. Just do your best. And that's what I'm doing right now. Doing my best. Okay, so we got him all shined up. Now let's write Denton turns 5. Denton turns 5 dynamite. Okay, so I got a tip number 3 that we're gonna write with, and let's just keep going and just use the red color. Okay, or what you guys think? Should I use the green and bring a little bit green down at the bottom? No, let's stick with red. See, I piped some number 5s on the side too, because he's 5. I put a number 5 there, and I put a number 5 there as well. Just kind of, you know. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit of red out so I can get rid of all the air. And now let's write Denton turns 5. Okay, I do not like how that looks, so I'm just gonna brush it off. Let me turn it towards me. So, matter of fact, I'm just gonna brush the whole thing off and start over. See, it happens. No worries, just brush it off and write it again. That's it. Thank God that our plaque is black, so we can do that. Hey. So, just brushing it off. See? Just brushed it all off. Now I'm finna do it again. Let me get down so I can see good. Hold on. I gotta grab my receipt. I forgot how to spell the name. Oh, no, I didn't. D-E-N-D-E-Y. Hold on. Let me grab my receipt. Okay, I got it. D-E-Y-T-O-N is how you spell his name. D-E-Y-T-O-N. So, I got the D-E. Oh, I am so glad this plaque is black. So we got the D-E. So D-E-Y-T-O-N. Denton. I'm sorry. I'm going to get on my knees because I need to be all the way down. So we got Denton. Turns. I don't want to have to do this again. We did already took it off once. Denton turns 5. Okay. Now, it should say dynamite. I really want to write the dynamite in green, because that's dino. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. So let me get up here. See, I got the Denton turns 5. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our green bag and write dynamite since it's green. Okay, so we're going to write the dynamite with a green bag. That way, you know, it'll make sense because we put Denton turns 5 in red. Let's put dynamite in green. All right, guys, there you have it. Can you see it? It says Denton turns 5 dynamite, and I put that in green. So this is the good dinosaur up top. I'll lift it up for you guys. I know I usually do. You got the good dinosaur with his little buddy. Denton turns 5 dynamite. We got the popcorn look at the bottom. We got the movie tickets. We got the number 5s on the side. We got all the grass up there. We got the pebble rocks. All right, so this is for the movie night. The Good Dinosaur and the movie popcorn cake. I want to thank you guys for coming to my channel. This is it, guys. And I hope you love the cake. And if it's anything that I said that made sense or gave you a little tip or a clue that made you think a little bit, if you enjoy watching my channel, if you like the way I decorate, then hit the like button. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel before you leave. I want to thank you guys for watching again today. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and check on your girl. And with that being said, we're all done for today. Have a blessed and prosperous weekend. Bye.